autism and rules.
Yeah.
It
I love them. I love rules.
yeah, I know. Yeah, tell us about the rules that you love.
um, very simple like example, red lights. I don't cross them at all. Never.
Hmm.
You'll always see me stop in front of a red light, even if there is no traffic anywhere to be seen. Like, just makes sense to my brain. It makes the world almost a little bit more predictable.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's the case with most rules. Like, most of them, there's something logical somewhere in there, which isn't always there, like in the world day-to-day life.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, it made me like think about rules. Like that's what I that one of the reasons why I find autism so fascinating is because it makes you think about stuff that is so like normal that is
Hmm.
actually not that normal. Like for example, breaking the rules or like lying and cheating and
Yeah.
like scamming the system or something like that is to a certain extent expected of you.
Yeah,
Like
and I
you've
really
told
don't see why someone would do it. It
yeah,
does not make any sense for me at all.
you have told that story about you were in a school for I think it was design, right?
Yeah, fashion
And
design. Yeah.
fashion design, and you were working on corsets, is that correct?
Yeah, corsets.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
And basically maybe you can tell the story so
Yeah.
because the other people that watch this don't have heard the
Yeah,
story.
so in one of the design classes, I have a teacher, and I've always had a fascination with like Victorian fashion, especially corsets. So I really wanted to work with those structures and basically use corsets in that class. And she pretty much straight out told me that I don't want to see a single thing of those corsets anymore in this class. You can do them in your own time. I don't want to see them anymore. So
Hmm.
then at the end of like that semester, basically of the course, I guess, of that class, when we got when we got graded on that, she basically told me like, well, you should have just pushed through. If you wanted to work with corsets, you should have done so. And I'm like, you literally told me that I'm not allowed to do this. How can you then expect me to do exactly what you told me not to do?
Yeah,
That does not make any sense for me at all.
I mean, I guess my first reaction was of course to be like, yeah, that's really stupid of that teacher. But
Yeah.
my second reaction was like, actually, that's going doing what she told you is the thing that you have to do in many situations in life, right? So people are always going to tell you don't do that, and you
Hmm.
have to still have to do it. And also like lying, like we all agree that lying is not good, but we are being forced in our day-to-day lives to do it like all the time, basically,
Yeah.
like even if it's just a small lie, like how are you, I'm good, like just
I'll
stuff
tell
like
you the
that.
truth. I'll tell you if I'm not doing
Yeah,
well.
that's we've talked about that with Eros. He also like has this problem. He also feels the same way. I think like he also has difficulties just saying yeah I'm good, or he also like we don't even notice. I feel like most people
Yeah,
don't even
true.
notice this because I I feel like that's not a question. Like it's not really a question. It's more
It's just making contact. It's nothing more really for
yeah
most people.
yeah yeah. It's like in 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 website websites do this thing where if you log into a server, you basically
Hmm.
send a request to the server when you go onto a website, and it gives a ping to the website, and if the website's there, it gives a pong back, and then they basically make a virtual handshake, and then the whole
Hmm.
process starts. That's what basically that is to me.
Yeah.
But somehow this meta thing that is on top of that is something that you you don't like, or you I don't know what it
It
is.
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't
Like,
make sense.
why would you ask a question that you don't want to know the answer to? It kind of goes back to taking things really seriously. So not
Yeah.
always getting the meaning that is not literally in the words, I guess. So reading between the lines. that's something that's often a little bit more difficult with autism. You really need to be aware of it from yourself, that you are not always aware of it, basically,
Hmm.
and then try to do so. So it's really involved in order for you to try and get that, I guess. So if you're just living your life, you're not thinking about it. It's just if the words are there, that's what someone wants you to do or wants to know. You react to that. So it's the reading between the lines that's a little bit more difficult, I guess,
Hmm.
and that you actually need to be aware of at that moment in order to react to that in the way that is expected almost.
But what is,
Does
I
that
feel
make
like,
sense?
yes, it does, but I feel like in that situation, the thing that gives you a problem is the lying part,
Yeah.
right? Like that's
Yeah.
because you know, like intellectually, you know that how are you or how you doing is
Hmm.
just a placeholder for that ping pong, like
Yeah.
basically that first
Basically just
initial
hi.
handshake. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a handshake, and like in other languages it's even more just like it's you don't even sometimes answer that question, like it's just
Yeah,
like
true.
just a hello, like. And but I feel like you need this, that's why I think about rules. I feel like it's in the category of rules. You need this rule to tell the truth, like that's why
Well,
you.
it's not even a rule for me. Telling the truth just makes sense because why would you lie about something like that? And even if I would try to lie, I'm really bad at it. I'm really, really bad at lying. So the only way for me to probably actually tell a lie and not have the other person notice right away would be for me to tell something that I actually believe.
I feel
So
like
not telling the entire truth.
you're having, like, even lie and truth you're taking literally, because
Absolutely.
it's not a literal lie. Like
No.
saying that
Yeah.
you're good, like if you tell me how are you doing and I say good, I haven't lied, because you you know that I know that your question was not serious. So me answering you good is not actually a lie, so we're both aware of what's
Mm.
happening, you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, I guess.
So you're not only taking the question how are you literally, you're also
Yeah.
taking
The
lying
answer.
literally, like you're
Yeah.
taking lying as in
Not
saying a
telling the
statement.
truth. A statement that's not true.
Yes, yes, exactly. But
Yeah.
in that case you take statement as if something that is just a grammar thing that you then compare
Hmm.
to the world,
Yeah.
and you take away the intention of that person, because in order for it to be a lie, you must understand, you must be, I have to trick you basically, and that's not
But
happening in that case.
if I'm not doing well and then I'm saying good to a question like that, then that
Hmm.
would be lying.
No, because
Like,
my
how would that be not lying?
it would be not lying, because it could be lying. It could be lying. For example, it could be lying in a sense where we are really close friends, and I'm sitting
Hmm.
with you, and I come to the table and I say, "Hey Eva, how are you?" Like with that look, and being like,
Hmm.
like, "How are you?" And then you say, "I'm good. I'm fine. It's all good. No worries." That would be lying,
Yeah, but
right?
to me, that's the same as just asking that, like, from a complete stranger, if you will.
Yeah,
I
but the
wouldn't really
difference,
ask it to a complete stranger, but still,
but the difference is that if I ask you how
the
are you
expected
doing,
answer.
yeah, the expected answer.
Yeah,
So
but that's
I
the
don't.
reading between the lines that we
Exactly,
struggle
yeah.
with.
Yeah, you take, yes, I feel like you don't take into consideration the intention that needs to be there, the intention to trick, which is
Yeah, because
part of lying.
I'm just gonna keep it with me. To me, that doesn't make sense. Why would you have the intention to trick?
No, we
Especially in
don't.
such a
I don't have
normal,
the
like, day-to-day
No, you
thing.
don't. You don't have the intention to trick. You don't. You don't. You just
But if
say.
I'm not doing well and I'm saying I'm doing good.
But in that case, it's not. That's not the same. Do you see how language, like communication, is not just the words? It's words plus context.
The meaning, yeah,
Yeah, it's the meaning comes from words plus context,
true. Yeah.
and
Which
in
is the
that.
exact thing that most autistic people struggle with.
Okay, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, the
Yeah.
context. So the context is the is it. seeing the context, or is it putting the context and the works together, or both? What do you think?
Both, I guess.
Both.
It's pretty well known that most autistic people will mostly focus on the details,
Mhm.
which makes them really good at certain things, like
Yeah.
searching things. For me, I'm known at my job that I'm really good to search things
Mhm.
that are people have no idea where they went. Like I can find them usually.
Mhm.
So we focus on the details, but it can be more difficult to actually piece together almost the complete picture with those details. Because where most people will first kind of see the overview
Mhm.
and then they will focus in on details,
Mhm.
for us, it's built up from the details.
Mhm.
Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. You basically look at the details of the sentence,
Yeah,
say stating how are you, and then the answer being good,
yeah,
but you don't look at the whole picture. Basically, you
yeah. It's
you
just the
you
details, like
you are hyper focused on
on
the
what they ask, on the
yeah
literal,
yeah
like what is asked.
yeah